Hey everyone, this is Billy. I'm currently in quarantine in China, in the city of Weihai. I'm on my second to last day of quarantine here, and after I leave tomorrow, I'll be going home, where I'll be quarantined for 7 more days in the hotel and then 7 more days at home. And then after that, I'm going to be allowed back into the real world. Congratulations to me. I'm really looking forward to all of the time that I have to spend doing absolutely nothing. It's going to be really fun. So let's get back to the video that I'm recording right now. I think for personal growth over the past 4 years, I've become a much more, whole person in terms of faith. Before I came to the United States in the Cathedral Catholic High School, I was really not religious at all because, religion is not a big thing in China, and I didn't really come into any contact with it. So I think after 4 years of Catholic education, I've come to learn a lot more about faith than I did before, and I can understand other people's perspective from a religious point of view, which which is literally impossible for me to do if I did not come to this particular school and learn all the things that I learned. That doesn't mean that I necessarily have to agree with all of it, but I have the ability to switch their opinions and analyze it rationally using my, knowledge deposit. And I think this year I've grown substantially in my character. I'm going to talk about two moments. The first moment is when I decided to apply to colleges as a chemistry major. So I always wondered what I was going to do for college and for years to come. Right now, I think chemistry is going to be my vocation. After spending in a research lab at Emory University last summer, I think I've discovered that I'm really, really interested in doing research. And chemistry is obviously my favorite subject. So, I think being a chemist and in the future and working in the pharmaceutical industry is going to help a lot of people. And I think I have found my vocation. So that is a big step for me. And also, I think, coming to accept the fact that I'm not perfect, that I'm going to screw up sometimes and be okay with my screw up and not be anxious about it, but to really think rationally about what I can do to salvage the situation is another big step for me. I've always been kind of hard on myself, and when I don't act to a certain level that I set for myself, I become very anxious. So that is big for me. That doesn't mean that I'm perfect at that. A lot of times I try very hard to be the way that I want to be, but it doesn't work all the time. So it's still a work in progress, but I think it's a big step up. So about leadership, I think I've come to realize that I have a lot more power to act and change the current situation than before. That doesn't mean that I've gained the power in the 4 years, but just coming to believe in myself, having the power is really important. That way, knowing that I can make a difference in the world, I will be more impactful in leadership and helping other people and making the world a better place eventually. So I think what really inspires me is waking up every day and experiencing new things that I didn't experience, learning new things that I didn't learn yesterday. So I think about the discernment process, I'm not entirely sure of what that means, so I'm just gonna go with how I interpreted it. I think I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I came to the United States. It's kind of a interesting story. My parents did not agree on whether to send me to the United States for high school. So until like the very last moment, I was not sure about whether I'm gonna go to a high school in China or in the United States. So I was preparing for both. In middle school, I was taking classes at my local middle school, and I'm also taking English classes outside to prepare myself for a high school education in the United States to boost my language proficiency and writing abilities and all sorts of things like that. So, but eventually, I think one person helped me out. It's my aunt. She helped me to gain admission to a cathedral, and that bring me here today, because without her help, I would have not been here. I would have stayed in China and missed a lot of great opportunities and great relationships that I have with everybody. This is a very unique memory, and I hope in the future I'll continue to have the courage to go into the unknown, because I have absolutely no idea what high school is like in the United States. But I decided that if I have the chance, I would take it, because I believe this is going to be beneficial for me in the long run. So I think over the past several months, I've discovered how important family relationships and friend connections are. Staying in isolation on your own is definitely really difficult, and it can cause a lot of psychological problems, and it's difficult for everybody. So I think staying connected with everybody, with your friends, with your family, talk to your friends, video chat with them, whatever, do some sort of things that will connect you to each other. It's going to help your mental health, and help you stay happy while the situation is not seeing a good turn. So that was a really important lesson for me. So I'm going to wrap this video. Thank you guys very much for spending the time to watch my video. If you guys are still watching up to this point, really miss all of you guys. I don't think I'll be at graduation, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get back in July. But I really miss all of you, sincerely. And this has been a really, really good ride. But peace out. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.